Unless you are a young person, in which case, come on up and grab a seat on this side, somewhere on the floor where you have a good view, looking towards me. Right in front of me, Allison. So find a spot where you can see me, but with enough space for some people to stand here next to me. So scooch back next to all those people in blue. Find the people in blue and back up towards them.
Back up, back up, back up.
Oh, new members, you're going to get a lot of love this morning. I can feel it. Awesome. Friends, this morning we have the joyful task of welcoming new members into our midst. Men and women who have chosen to say yes to Saugatuck Church in an intentional way. And so I would like to introduce you to each of those new members, each in turn. Can I have Nikki come on up with Dr. Heather Hamilton, who will introduce Nikki Conte to us. I'm going this way.
Introducing now to the people that are new.
Christina.
Good morning, everyone. I have the pleasure this morning of introducing Nikki Conte. Nikki and I met at a gathering here in Westport, and we started talking, and I mentioned Saugatuck Church, and that's where I worked, and she's like, oh, and she was asking all these questions, and I said, why don't you come on over some Sunday? And she started to show up, and then she kept coming and coming and coming. She never left, and thankfully for us. Nikki was born in Italy to teenage parents, and her grandfather was a country physician and had her mother go to the convent to deliver cute little Nikki. And then they hopped on a steamliner. Back then they didn't only go to New York, but they went to New Haven. So their steamliner went from Italy to New Haven, and Nikki grew up in foster care from a little bit before the age of 1 all the way through 18. And we all know about foster care, and I am so proud of Nikki. She graduated college, put herself through school. She was valedictorian. Then she went to NYU and majored in medieval studies and history, was it? History, yeah. And so she's just an unbelievable soul. She's very knowledgeable about many different topics, really big heart. That's what drew me to Nikki. She exudes this aura of love, caring, and she has 2 children, Dean and Christina, who's here. Thank you, Christina, for coming. And so that's Nikki on that part. But what the main thing that we talked about was she's looking for faith and spirituality. She's been through Roman Catholicism, Greek Orthodox, Roman again, and then now she's really on a faith journey, and this is a really good church to start that journey and continue that journey. And it's with my great honor to introduce Nikki Conte.
Lee Norman, come on down, and he will be introduced by Bob Mitchell.
Well, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce my friend Lee Norman. I've known Lee for several years. Lee came to Westport about 10 years ago. Lee lives here in Westport with his fiancée Cynthia. They're raising teenagers, but when he isn't doing that, he works in New York City for a real estate capital advisory firm. But it's not all work and play. Lee loves service. And as Cynthia has already told you, he's already signed up to work at the Gillespie Center. He went on the All Faiths retreat early this year, and he's going to be one of the chaperones for the mission trip this summer. So he's already fully involved. But in addition to that, Lee has a cool side. Lee and I actually took tap dance lessons together a few years ago. And his other love is music, and he keeps threatening that one of these days he and Craig will entertain us all on the guitar.
Thank you. Welcome. Get Jim Langham involved and we might actually have an electric guitar trio. Stay tuned for future concerts. Heather Strauch is joining us this morning and will be introduced by Betty Zumbro.
Thank you. Welcome, Heather. Good morning, everybody. I've known Heather and her boys and just love playing together and chatting, mostly in the park, but also after service here. And I've also had the pleasure of meeting Peter a few times. And the kids have all played together, so thank you, Heather and Peter. And I'm going to read what Heather has written, if that's all right. Heather was born and raised in northern Pennsylvania, Scranton to be exact. Her father's side of the family has owned a funeral home in Scranton for over 100 years, and she has had a really pleasant and comforting religious upbringing within a local Presbyterian church. Some of her fondest memories are of her mission trips for youth groups, summer trips that she participated in with her church as a child. In 2004, shortly after completing her Master's of Science in Physical Therapy, she moved to Connecticut, and in 2007, she founded a Different Approach Physical Therapy, a private practice specializing in pelvic rehabilitation. In 2008, she met her husband Peter, and they were married in the spring of 2013, just before the birth of their son Jake. Their son Levi was born in 2016, completing their family. Her heart is full of love. Her heart is full of love, and she is so happy that after many years of searching for a church to call home, Saugatuck Congregational Church feels like it has always been there waiting for her, like a cozy pair of slippers. And now her family can experience gratitude through belonging to a church that fills them up with opportunities to do good work and feel God's love in the process. Welcome, Heather.
So welcome, well, not quite yet, but the kids and I think that you might need something now that you're committing to our family here. First of all, we all heard about Cynthia needing us to sign up. So a sharp pencil with an eraser is absolutely necessary for your service. Does anyone here have a pencil that they could give to Nicole and to Lee? Mary, why don't you give yours to, oh, wait, would you mind, Christina, holding that? I got a lot of stuff. We're gonna need this big time. Who has the other pencil? Did Lee get a pencil? Jacob, can you give Lee a pencil? Perfect. And Heather, just start signing up. This is magic in this box. All right. After all that hard work, you might feel a little dehydrated, and hydration is important. If you have a water bottle, would you please give it to Nicole and to Lee and to Heather? Good one, Jake. And thank you, Mark Mathias, for the fabulous Saugatuck water bottles.
Thank you.
In your stuff. Now, you also might be a little low on blood sugar, so some sweet treats. If you have sweet treats, would you please give them to Nicole and Lee and Heather? Thank you. And I'll bet you can make a lot of friends with those sweet treats. Now, we all know that we have our good days and we have our not so good days, and we want you to know that we will love you no matter what. But if you decide that you need to come to church on a not so good day, you can put on this mustache. If you have a mustache, please give it to, and come incognito. We'll be there for you, even if we don't recognize you. And when you're ready to shave, we'll celebrate that you're feeling better. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite up to join us Holly Betts of the Welcome and Membership Team, Doug Johnston representing our Board of Deacons, and Kurt Bogdan, who is the last most recent person to have joined the church along with his family, with Isabel and the kids. Those three, come on up and join me if you would. And together we will welcome our new members in a formal way. Go ahead and stand there. I can stand.
Nikki, Lee, and Heather have chosen to respond to the stirrings of the Spirit by joining this church, bringing them with them curiosity, their varied gifts, and their unfolding faith. So now I ask you to affirm your decision to join this church. Nikki, Lee, and Heather, do you seek to be a follower of Jesus Christ?
I do.
Do you embrace membership in Saugatuck Congregational Church, United Church of Christ? And do you promise to participate in the life and mission of this congregation, sharing regularly in worship, seeking to grow in faith, and investing your time, talent, and treasure to the ministry of Saugatuck Church as it serves this community and the wider world? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Children of Saugatuck Church, you still there? Yes. Give me a high five. There you are. Will you welcome Jake? Where's Jake? There he is. And Levi. Where's Levi? Way over there. Those are the kids that belong to Heather and Peter. Will you welcome them?